Today's episode brought to you by creamed possum in a can. Yes, creamed possum with sweet potatoes garnished in coon fat gravy. Always make sure to have a can on hand for those unwanted guests that show up always at supper time. Brought to you by the good folks at Gagamall Industry. And now here's Grandpa.
Hey, Grandpa, what's for supper?
Hi, and welcome to Grandpa's Kitchen. I'm your host and country cousin, J-Bob. That's spelled J. Perry, B-O-B. I can spell it backwards. B-O-B. Yeah. Well, you may be wondering what this is all about. Well, these videos are about, well, laughing, joking, but cooking. That's right. What else would you do in a kitchen? Use the toilet? Elmo, can't you get anything right? Good Lord, I'm about ready to take one of these cast iron skulls, put a couple goose eggs on that overly dented head. Already the first episode and I gotta fire the sound effects guy. Any old hoot, moving along, tonight we got something special for you. A staple in the kitchen known as omelette casserole, or what some folks have called egg casserole. So let's get on with the action.
We interrupt this program to bring you a very important public service announcement. Due to the uptick in many explosions in backyards of late due to the high grilling season, we here at this station recommend that you never light your grill while in an outhouse.
All right. Now, some things that we need to do right off the bat is always before you start cooking anything, make sure you have a good, cool drink. That way you don't get thirsty. And get yourself a good old PBR. That's right. PBR, the original colon cleanser. That's right. This will get you good and squeaky clean. To the point your rear end will start whistling Dixie. Ugh, yeah. All right, the first thing we're going to do is bring over and we're going to go ahead and grease up a clear glass casserole dish. This is going to be very important because we're going to want to, as we're cooking, look at the bottom to make sure it doesn't burn. And I love these things because you can take a peekaboo and no problem. So it's nice and greasy. And now what we're going to do, just something basic. Take regular sandwich bread and just start crumbling it up and putting it on the bottom. This is going to be very instrumental, or whatever you say that word, that fancy city word, in the cooking process. Just crumble it up and throw it down, throw it around. You're going to use several slices, that's for sure. How many? It just depends. Don't have to be overly critical on stuff like this. Just get it good and loaded. Now, I've already went ahead and made some stuff up to make this video a little shorter, so that way we ain't spending too much time with dead air and all this stuff. And like I said, I'm on my third slice right now. Good night. Won't take a minute. Now, if you got like leftover hot dog buns or hamburger buns, you can throw them in too. Just good white bread. This is a dish that you're going to find really interesting because there's not a whole lot of rules to this one. And I'll explain as we go. All right, we're going to need a little more. Not much. Let's fill in some of these gaps. All right. And there we go. Let's get the bread out of the way. Now, you're going to take 12 eggs and about a quarter cup to a half a cup of milk and beat them up in a bowl like this. And now we're just going to pour it all over the bread. We want to get all that bread coated. Best that you can. Take it easy and slow. Do the best you can. If it don't look real great at first, don't worry about it. All right, there we go. Now, pretty much, that's all you need if you just want a plain egg casserole. The beautiful part about this is where you can put in any kind of fixings you like. Like tonight, if you wanted to, let's say you wanted a bacon one, you could just put crumbled bacon on it. Want a ham one, just put hams, maybe with some onions and pepper, get that Western style. Our choice tonight is going to be green pepper and green onions. And what you do is just scatter it around. Nothing fancy, just get it evenly scattered. That's just the key. Now, I've mixed all the green onions and green peppers together. And like so. Pretty easy, huh? But that's the beautiful thing about this. This can take any fixings. If you wanted to, you could probably fry up some taters and put it in here. Maybe some hash browns. You know, there's kind of all kinds of ideas you could throw in here that you would want. And we're going to put some meat on this. We got some good browned up sausage. We're going to throw that in there too. And just the same principle, just get it all the way around. Whatever you like in your omelet. Now the last step is we're going to cook it for so long, and then we're going to put cheese on top. And I'll explain later why, because it'll be easier for me to show it. If it clumps up too much, you can always move it around a bit. You can add as much as you want. You can put very little on. That's good enough. Whew, hands got greasy. Okay, now, we've already preheated the oven to 400 degrees, about 400 or somewhere around that area. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven for 10 minutes, and we're going to pull it out. Well, it's been about 20 minutes. I took a little longer because it really wasn't coming up right. Now, what we're going to do now, and we're going to load this down with cheese. We're going to use Colby and Jack shredded cheese on this. And we're just going to cover the whole top of it. Now the bread's going to do one thing. I was going to talk about this earlier, but I think we better wait. And I'm going to pull the camera off to show it. But it'll fluff it up and make it thicker. Might be the reaction with the egg and the yeast and all that good stuff. It's evenly coated with cheese. We're waiting on doing the cheese last because the cheese can act like a blanket and won't let it release the moisture from the egg and cook up quick enough. Two, when you do this, sometimes it'll burn and turn real tough if you do it too soon. And just regular old Kraft, Colby and Jack. I do believe this is a 2-cup portion, 8-ounce bag. Good product. Now, we're going to put this back in for about 5 minutes and check on it every few minutes. And here we go. Let me show you the side of it. As you can see, it's starting to rise. And that's the idea. The longer it sits in there, the more it's going to rise and get real thick. So we're going to put this back in the oven for about, 5 minutes at a time and keep checking on it. Well, okay, we're back after about 5 minutes. Now the cheese is good and melty, and it's ready to be served. What you do is you can take a knife, cut it in the middle, and push it to the side, and you can still see if it's runny or not. If it's still runny, you need to put it in for a few more minutes. Outside of that, that's about it. And the beautiful thing is, let's try this again. Hopefully it ain't too abrupt. There we go. Is with the glass casserole dish, you can see if it's burning. The edges are going to get brown, but the bottom's looking pretty good. We here at Grandpa's Kitchen would like to do a shout out to fellow YouTubers that we think have good content that you may enjoy. Today's shout out, or country salute to, is to the Hoover Boys with their metal detecting show, and you'll really enjoy it if you ever get the chance to watch it. If you spend any life where you can see old relic coins, you see some really neat Revolutionary and Civil War stuff coming out of the ground. So to the Hoover Boys, we give you a old
Brought to you by Low IQ Production.